Today's episode of Film Riot is brought to you by the National Campaign Against Drunk Driving. Drive sober or get pulled over. Welcome to Film Riot Mondays. I'm going to answer your questions like we always do. And then I always do this whole thing where I say to the show that we answer your questions.
Somebody always says that this comes out on a Tuesday where they live.
Oh, so it's Film Riot Monday, Tuesdays.
It's Film Riot Monday, Tuesdays.
Welcome to Film Riot Monday, Tuesdays. Christmas is right around the corner.
Let's answer some questions.
Questions.
Mail sack. Mail sack. Taking a look in Riot's mail sack.
Grace Parker aggressively says, Ryan, you won't answer this question. Do you think you would be willing to film a different genre rather than your normal action horror comedy just so you could say that you can, in fact, do romance or documentary? And do you think as a filmmaker you should try as many genres as you can or just stick with the ones you know? I don't know that there's any one genre that I wouldn't want to, I mean, maybe, I think the only genre that I maybe wouldn't want to do is musical, but I don't know, I could kind of see, as long as I was passionate about the story, I would do any genre. Obviously, there are certain things that come easier to me that I'm more attracted to, things I get more passionate about, easier, the things that I want to see made. I mean, usually you want to make the movies that you want to see made, the things that you're passionate about, so that's, you know, whatever that genre is what I go for. But I could see myself making a romance or romantic comedy, definitely a documentary. I have a couple ideas for that in the future. And as a filmmaker, no, I don't think you need to try every genre. If you don't like one, then why would you do it? If you hate romance movies, why would you make that? You're just gonna make a really crappy one, unless you're making something different. But then at that point, it's gonna come and turn into like a horror romance or something weird like that. You're just infusing an idea into another. So no, I don't think you should do just do what you're passionate about. I really like Todd and Josh's acting in Proximity. Todd seems to do well in a disturbing role, but can you see him or would you cast him in a conflicted super good guy role and or put Josh into a bad guy role in future production? To some extent, that's what they did in the short. I mean, Todd started out as the good conflicted dude. I mean, that's what that whole dialogue scene was about. He didn't want to have to do any things that he ended up having to do. And then at the end, he was disturbing and, you know, crazy because the events took him there. He ended up snapping and doing the things that I mean, that's sort of what the piece is about, what somebody can become and then, you know, the ultimate choice that they have to make. And Josh, same thing, although he played a crazy person, not necessarily somebody who chose to be evil, he kind of was the villain a little bit for a minute there. So I absolutely think I could push both of them much further than that and get great things out of them. I mean, Todd already has played those roles in the past and other things that you guys haven't seen because he wasn't in our thing, but Todd's done like 50 plays and I don't even know how many shorts and features, so Todd's already done all of that. If you had a stage name, what would it be? The Cobbler.
I don't even want to know what that means.
And you're making a video for Proximity. You mentioned a lot how you needed to call up people you know for things like camera, the shackles, etc. How the crap do you get to know such great contacts, and how do I do the same? That just came from years and years of doing. I mean, just doing things and putting it out onto the internet so people can see what you do and want to be a part of it. But more importantly, I spent the first like 8 years of my career just helping other people, just doing freebies for other people, helping other people create their vision so that over time other people will also help you create yours, and word will get around that you're that type of person, that you're passionate and you just want to do the thing, that you're a person of integrity, and that's just a really good outlook for people to have on you, and people will want to be involved in the stuff you do because A, you're putting good stuff out, and B, they know you're the type of person that they can trust and that just wants to make cool stuff, and people will end up gravitating towards you. What motivates you as a director? The intense passion of it. I mean, I've said it a million times, I would rather live out of a car than not make films. I'm so serious. I would rather live under a bridge than not make films. I am just very passionate about making films. Just you're putting this experience together for an audience to watch and to have an emotional response out of something that you put together, this universe that you created from nothing. I just think that is just the most amazing thing on the planet. You can say something about society, you can hold a mirror to the people watching it, you could just give them an experience, just give them a ride to forget about things for however long your piece is. It's just an awesome, awesome medium. I love it. I love it. Where do you get the background music for all your movies? Reply. I think he's from the House of Slytherin. For all my films, Daniel James is my composer. He's amazing. Actually, I've told you guys before, but just in case you have not heard it, since you clearly have not heard it, you can buy the soundtrack for Proximity right here. It has like double the tracks that are actually on the film because there's some rejected tracks and the first pass tracks and things like that. Once you buy it, you can use the music for your projects as long as it's non-commercial. So any of the Monday challenges that we do or any other film contests that you enter into, you can use it because he gives you permission to once you buy it. It's cheap, it's awesome, you can find it right here. But yeah, Daniel James. Last question, Ryan, do you ever miss shooting with a traditional video camera since you use a DSLR? I still do shoot on more traditional camera. I use DSLR for things like Film Riot, Film Stage, some of the smaller sketches that we do, but when we do bigger projects or any kind of client work I might do, I usually use things like the Red Epic Scarlet, or we just use a C500 for Proximity. So it just depends on the project. I mean, I've used an iPhone for stuff. I've used a GoPro for a project. It just depends on what I'm doing, which will dictate the camera that I want to use. I'm not a gearhead. It really does not matter what the thing is as long as it's the right thing for the project. This holiday season, from December 13th through New Year's Day, cops are cracking down on douche knuckle ass hats, which some call drunk drivers, to make the streets safer for the rest of us. Why would anyone drive drunk? I honestly cannot fathom that. When you drive drunk, you are turning your car into a weapon. It is no longer a thing to take you from point A to point B. It is a possible murdering machine. There's some people who think, oh, I've done it before, I'll be fine. If you're that type of person, please repeatedly punch yourself in the face until you're unconscious. That way you're not awake to make the roads unsafe for the rest of us. There's over 10,000 people murdered on the roads from drunk drivers per year. So there's 10,000 reasons why you should not drive drunk. And I would like to think that everybody who watches our show are amazing people, and you would never be so horribly selfish. So this holiday season, make sure you're being responsible for your friends and not letting them drive drunk. Be that designated driver if you have to be. Be responsible and help keep people safe. Please, I beg you, because yes, there's jail time, there's fees, there's possible loss of license, but that doesn't really matter. The only thing that matters is you could hurt someone, or worse yet, you could kill someone. And life is precious. Please be safe this holiday season because we love you. Drive sober or get pulled over.
Logo.
So that's it for today, which means it's time for my suggestion of the week. This one is another making of documentary. This one for 2001: A Space Odyssey, which is a film that I absolutely adore, part don't love at the same time. It's kind of dual wielding for me. I mean, it was an unbelievable technical achievement in a movie that kind of changed sci-fi films and has inspired filmmakers for just countless years afterwards, including myself. I've taken a lot of my visual style from Kubrick's work, and this was one of his best works for sure. And the documentary is fantastic. You can find it here. If you have not seen the film, definitely worth a watch. It is very slow at times, but it is absolutely worth checking out. So do both those things. If you haven't seen the film, watch the film, and definitely watch the documentary here, and I'll see you guys next time.